Okay, I'm just off the parking lot at Bird Point. It's a rest stop along the Seward Highway, and that's a place to get on the trail from Bird to Gird. Bird is actually farther down. This is about halfway, I think, of the Bird to Gird Trail. But this is the view. You start from the lookout on the Bird Point rest stop. It's a nice place to stop and get on the Bird to Gird Trail and just go hiking. So that out there is actually Bird Point. Hiking the Bird to Gird Trail, which is partially from Bird Point to Girdwood, but it goes much farther than just Bird Point. But one of the few waterfalls that runs and crosses the trail, and this is a bike trail, it's a paved trail. You're not even in the wilderness. But it's one of the nice waterfalls, good place for the dogs to stop in the water. So like I said, this is the Bird to Gird Trail. Not exactly wilderness, but it's a nice place to hike, take a walk with the dogs, or ride your bike. And if you're not up for walking through the mountains and rough terrain, this is a nice place to walk. And let's go up and get some scenery here. I don't trip over my own dogs. And so this is just the views along Bird to Gird. Okay, another little waterfall coming down from the mountains. Dogs are stopping for water, but still everything's brown and gray. Nothing's starting to green out here yet. Should start happening in a couple weeks. And just more of the scenery as along the hike. Not that far from the highway. It's maybe 300 yards away and about 100 yards lower. Oop, I'm twisting, but there you go. There's the scenery. Okay, here's something you don't see too often. A recoilless rifle set up for avalanche control. And here it is. And that's how they used to do avalanche control along the highway. Now they have portable units, but they still use artillery to clear avalanches. Okay, so here's kind of a walk-around view of a recoilless rifle, or recoilless gun, whatever you want to call it. And the reason it's called recoilless is because when we get around to the backside, you will see there are openings in the rear of the breech. So when the projectile fires, you have as much propellant coming out the rear as you do going forward to hence mitigate the recoil of the shell. So they say you can't stand behind one of these things when it fires, or you will be literally blown away. But yes, they still use artillery to do avalanche control here around the Anchorage area. It's time to cool off in the snow. Oops, we're all tangled here. But, oh well, I have to untangle them, but they're cooling off in the snow. Okay, here we have an eagle's nest. I don't know if there's any eagles inhabiting this year. They were there last year. They generally return to their nests. They could just be out right now if they haven't laid eggs. But there we go. An eagle's nest here. You can see the highways down there. There goes a car passing by. There's actually a pull-out right there. You can pull out there with some good binoculars and look up at that eagle's nest in the mountains across the inlet. So my nice easy paved trail has turned into rather deep snow. But we'll plug and chug along. The dogs are having fun. Just more video along the hike to see the scenery. So this is what's out there. Like I said, it's mostly a paved hike unless there's still snow on the trail. Okay, another water break. Lots of water. Like I said, you should never go thirsty in Alaska. But a nice little waterfall cascading down over this moss-covered boulder. It's actually rather pretty. And I love the sound of the water. Okay, so got clear trail again, and then we have an avalanche across the trail. So it's spring in Alaska. You never know what you're going to run into. And it's nothing we couldn't walk over, but I think this is about as far as I'm going today. It's actually been up for over an hour already, so take the dogs and head on back soon. Okay, a little bit more of the avalanche. That's the downhill side. We swing around here, and this little dog I'm watching doesn't like to stop. But here we go. You can see destruction. Somehow the avalanche went around that tree and didn't take it out. But you can see lots of other trees were taken out by this avalanche. And it'll melt away, and then they'll clear off the trail.